On the day of arrival, when a piece of toasted salmon was served in my dinner, I have no idea about what a Herculean journey the salmon had just traveled. However, to produce a piece of salmon is not a piece of cake in the least, and the story of a salmon begins in this hatchery, which is told by Aid, a Quinault tribal member who has worked at the hatchery for over 51 years. The Quinault National Fish Hatchery releases approximately 3 million young chum salmon, coho salmon, and winter steelhead annually. And what impresses me most is that people are working at this not for profit, but for restoring aquatic species that are in decline, at risk, and are important to the health of our aquatic systems. As a fish embryo, it will witness the process of spawning adults, incubating eggs, rearing fry, marking and tagging fry, and releasing millions of fish each year, which requires dedicated year-round work from their hatchery staff, hatchery evaluation team, and fish health veterinarians. But even after an adult salmon is released to the river, there are still heavy obstacles ahead, and the story is continued through the narration by the volunteers in Quinault Rainforest Ranger Station about freeing the rivers. The Elwha and Glen Canyon dams were built in the early 1900s, generating hydropower to supply electricity for the emerging town of Port Angeles and fueling regional growth on the peninsula. However, construction of the dams blocked the migration of salmon upstream. In 1992, Congress passed the Elwha River Ecosystem and Fisheries Restoration Act, authorizing dam removal to restore the altered ecosystem. Salmon are again swimming upstream to lay eggs and die, bringing a gift of their nutrients to the valley. From deep snagging eggs to otters and eagles feasting on carcasses, salmon nourish their neighbors. Even aquatic insects, young fish, and streamside forests benefit from the influx of nutrients from the salmon carcasses and eggs. So, from hatchery to dams and then to all kinds of other animals, the story of salmon is quite a long one to tell, yet the story still needs to be continued, as there being nuclear water discharged into the ocean, sanitary water put into the rivers, and all kinds of such issues. We are listeners to salmon's story, while we can also be the one who writes the story. So do those little salmons a favor, and try to add a happy ending to the story by taking actions to protect the environment. Because when it comes to the environment, the story of salmon is sort of correlated to the story of ourselves.